to Two Dudes That Game. This is our Our third episode this year. We're like kind of keeping up with what we need
I know.
to do.
Look, and we did a Last of Us episode.
And we did the Last of Us
Like,
episode.
it took
So
us
if you
like
didn't
4.
catch that, yeah, if you guys didn't catch that and you're not watching The Last of Us, I highly recommend you go ahead and check it out. At least give it a shot if you like that kind of content or those kind of shows. Give it a shot, because it is probably my favorite show on television right now, and gonna compete for probably the best show,
One of the best shows
of the year. Yeah. It's gonna be in the conversation.
Speaking of, did you see that it is the number 2 all-time like viewership or whatever for the opening behind only House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon, and it's funny because House of the Dragon still like 2 million people above or whatever it was.
It was like
I
double.
didn't see the number.
It was like 10 to 5 or something like that in millions. Like 10
I thought it was
to
like
5
4 to
million or
9. Yeah, it's
something like that. Yeah, but it is like
crazy.
Double. But I will say
Crazy
this:
amount.
if you're the gamer guy that is begging to have your significant other watch something with you, or you're like, man, I wish my girlfriend would just understand the stories in video games, or so. This is the show. This is the one to do it.
If
because
they
don't have to care. They have to be able to handle like a zombie type thing. Like if they like Walking Dead, Yellowstone, any kind in that drama genre.
I've been
with
selling it
a
as
gore.
a natural disaster because it is a fungus.
Correct. Yeah,
It's
so
a natural disaster.
but just that side of it, almost post-apocalyptic, but not quite. It is definitely the show to put them in. I would say it's going to give you an easy way into your world for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And couldn't have been a better story for them to take on here. And it kind of makes me excited because they also have announced that they're going to be doing a Gears of War. I don't know if it's going to be a show or a movie, but I am kind of excited about that. Don't quote me on that. I heard it like on the radio or something. But they're getting better from The Rock's doom to where we're at now. Our video game movies and stuff are getting a whole lot better.
They're definitely.
It didn't start out well.
They're definitely getting up there. That's for sure.
I mean, what is it? What was it? Double Trouble? What was the?
I don't know. It was awful. Absolutely horrendous.
Anyway, we got some. I would say good news, bad news, delays, retirements. Got a lot happened in like the 4 days since we recorded the last episode here, James. So what are we getting into today? What's the meat?
The first topic I want to bring up is how we played, I did some stuff, hung out with my wife last night, then we ended up playing some Warzone with the crew, Trex and the boys, and I go to bed. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake. I'm scrolling through YouTube as I do. And I come across this video from Scump with a party at his house. And I start watching it, and I was like, oh, this must be the party that they set up. This is going to be his final season. And as I'm listening to him give his speech and he's crying, he talks about how he was going to come back, but he can't come back. He was wrong. He apologized. And thanks to Hex, all these people, like, these guys are going to go forward without him. Greenwall forever. And I was like, so I text you. Of course, it's 2:30 in the morning for you. But I'm like, did you just go a whole day and not know that this guy that you got me convinced to finally start watching in the CDL is done? Like, he just quit. He was like, peace out, boys. And you texted me back and said, yeah, it's for the end of the thing. And then you watched it again. And what happened from your end? Because I was just dumbfounded.
I saw it because like from his tweet, it says, thanks for everything. And again, like and I caught it late in the day. Like, cause I was
just
with
nonchalant
my kids all day. I just nonchalant saw it. And I saw everyone there like having a party, and I was like, okay, like same thing with you. Like, okay, this is his retirement party that they're having. I don't, kind of weird they're doing it in the middle of the season, but whatever.
They're streamers.
But again, I always look at it as it's also a content creation house. So they could have like created this party early, because I saw that Dashi was there. Like in the video, like Dashi walks in and gives Seth a hug. So I'm like, oh, this might have been before all of this stuff happened. That's where my mind went.
Yeah, because you're immediately thinking they probably hate each other now anyways.
Well, I knew
Or
they
just not getting
they
along,
had
yeah.
a falling out, and it wasn't like, I don't know if they hate each other, but they had a falling out and they're not on the same team. And I couldn't imagine him being like, "Hey, come over to my house for this party right afterwards after we cut you." Like that's like twisting the knife a little bit at that point, you know. So, um, yeah, that's where I kind of like, and I saw Formal there, and I'm like, okay, this might just be him getting everybody over there. They happened to have like a week off. It was right after, you know, right before the season. Like in my mind, I'm thinking this is right before the season, guys. This is really my last year. Let's get it together. Like that's what I'm thinking in my head, because it's like you're in the middle of a major. Like we're not leaving here. Like we just had the first gameplay of pool play. Like it's not anything. So Scump retired. Like, let's just get that out there. I don't think we've actually just said that yet. Scump has officially retired from Call of Duty. After a storied career, as you could put it, 31 major tournament wins over 14 years, including one Call of Duty World League Championship in 2017. He's played most of his career under Optic or under one of the Optic names. So Optic has changed its name because people have bought it and gone back. They were the Chicago Huntsmen for a little bit. They were, I believe, under Complexity for a little bit too. I think Complexity still might own part of it. And Hector branched Optic off again. But the Optic Texas team is no longer with Scump. And I was shocked. And it's kind of interesting because I understand his reservations, like at the beginning of the year, saying like, do I have this in me? Do I not have this in me? But it's rare for someone to just stop in the middle of a season. Like that's kind of leaving your boys out to dry a little bit. So I do think after all the years of watching him play and listening to him talk and how much he truly loves the game, something in his life is forcing this decision early. Like he must really be miserable playing these tournaments. Like there's no other way. It says, you know, coming into this year, I already on the fence about giving it another go, and I thought I could do it, but I overestimated my energy and what happens, and I hope that y'all can forgive me. And I'm wondering if that's, you know, all the controversy, you know, with the roster changes and all of that kind of stuff just like got to him. Like he just like, I just don't want to play this part of the game anymore. Like I don't know.
Sounded, obviously I'm just now getting into this scene, so you know, feel free to stop me if I'm speaking out of turn here, Ender, against him. But it definitely just sounded like someone that was just over it. Like point blank, I'm just tired of doing this. He seems to be slowly doing more of the content creation stuff, and he talked about how, you know, I watched that again, the little speech he gave to all his friends and stuff that were there, and he starts crying. But he did talk about how it is to do content plus try to play in these tournaments plus your scrims. Like it's just a lot like that. Like I think he's just burnt out and he's tired of playing the same game over and over. And it does suck. I feel bad for everybody kind of involved that are trolling this right now or trying to say, oh, Call of Duty Vanguard ruined it for Scump. Oh, Modern Warfare 2 is just bad gameplay and their game is so buggy that they ruined it. And to me, he's a professional. And just like in any professional sport, NASCAR racing is probably the best example to talk about this, how the rules change all the time in racing, right? Or different engines are important, especially something like NASCAR. They're constantly changing the cars. There's years where some guys are like, I feel like I can't drive this thing on the track.
F1
like,
is more of an example where they're changing everything. Like NASCAR, you could go from having a decent car to needing to make some form of change, and everything's different.
But it's just like the game changed, yes, but he's a professional, so he will adapt. So I don't think that anything that happened to do with the way the game is playing is what ruined this. I genuinely just think he's just done.
Well, I think it has something to do with it, because like at the end of the day, NASCAR might change the way the car drives or something, and they would adapt, but in the video game space, like you really do have a completely different game. Like it's not what they started in. And I would say
Well,
about
that's what I
2
mean by-
years ago.
Let me jump in. That's what I'm, and this is where you can and stop me here. That's what I'm saying by he's a professional. He would just adjust, and by saying he's burnt out, he doesn't want to relearn again. He doesn't like he's just done.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, and I think Formal had the same thing when he left. Was when he retired, and he was kind of like, you know what, the game is just not fun to play anymore. And when the game stops being fun, it becomes so. Having, you may not be able to tell, looking at me or anything at that point, but I've played sports to some of the highest levels that were out there. Especially, I played baseball all the way up to high level college, minor league, stuff like that. And the one thing that people don't understand when you're doing something at that level is you have to love the grind of practice, the grind of getting ready for the seasons, because the second that you're done, and it's true, you take 2 weeks off and you start again. Like when the season's not over, that's when the work starts. And if you don't love the work, you're done. Like you're done. And that's where I think it was getting him, is that, like he said, the scrims, and I got to make content, and I'm going through this. Like he was continuing to not love the work, and the game,
the payoff of the game wasn't enough to compensate.
And it may not be playing to his strengths anymore. They slowed the game down. He was one of the fastest subs out there. And you also got to remember, this ain't year one. We're not talking about year one here and he's leaving. We're talking about year 14. Like that's a career.
Yeah.
I just do think it's very shocking to stop in the middle of a season. It will not even middle of season, in the middle of a major. Like you just went through all this roster mania, and now you're gonna drop there. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall with that conversation between him and Hex, and I think so. The owner. I think a lot of people probably think it went bad. But it
probably didn't. I don't think
it was like
did.
Scump went to him and he was like, you know what, man, I'm done. Like I've given you all of this time. I'm burnt. I'm not having fun anymore.
And maybe the roster issues is he's the. I don't mean this in a bad way because he's the best player, but I mean maybe they just don't mix. Maybe he's the single piece that doesn't mix well with everyone.
You could look at it that as, and we'll see.
And it could be where him. I think he is good enough to be like, hey, we are not, I can't play with them. They can't play with me. We don't work. This is stupid for me to play out. It's easier to replace me and you guys to try to make a run at this thing than to keep trying to adjust things to me.
Yeah. And I wouldn't take that away from him, to be so self-aware to the point to be like, look, guys, I'm not 100%. And if I can't give you 100% every time I walk out there, there's no point in me being out there for you guys. Like it's a discredit to his teammates to continue to walk out there.
It was like Kobe Bryant at the end of his career. Kobe Bryant could have still been one of the top 10 basketball players in the NBA easily. He just was done. He was like, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not fun.
Yeah, and when somebody like that again, you start to not enjoy the grind anymore. You get done. Like you're done. I just remember, the 10,000th, practice swing that you took in the off season, and your arms are tired and your hands are bleeding. At some point you're just like, why am I still doing this? Like, am I going anywhere? Do I have anything else to prove? And the good thing for him, and the nice thing for him, is that he gets to go out as one of the greatest of all time. And the sad part is, normally the greats don't go out on top. It's something weird like this, or it's at the end of a really bad season, or they always play one too many. It's kind of that classic story of just one too many.
Yeah.
He does say, for my supporters that may be mad or upset at my decision, I'm sorry, but I promise I'll make it up. And then he goes on to kind of talk about his new focus being on content creation and his intention to spend more time with the fans at future events. He's like, I didn't get to spend time with fans.
Yeah.
I didn't
he's
get to
still
do all
going to
that.
be there. He's still going to be involved.
Now, I do think the really interesting part here is that they're bringing back Dashy, and there were some issues with Dashy, and here's what he said in his speech: bringing back Brandon, aka Dashy, made sense. Life's too short to hold grudges or be mad at each other, and I hope he uses this opportunity to be a good teammate. Please use this opportunity. Well, cause I'm falling down so you can go up. I hope you use this right. So it's almost like, dude, I want to know what happened between these two, because he's not happy when he says, he's like, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm about to give you the keys to the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Don't put a scratch on it.
I'm giving, no, it's not I'm about to give you the keys to the Ferrari. After you wreck this motherfucker, I'm giving them back to you.
Yeah.
So like it's even more than that. Like, he gave him the keys to the Ferrari 3 years ago when they first started this. This is after you ran it into a
but
pole,
now they don't have,
and I bought you a second one.
You know, it's the one thing I've learned as being a new person watching this and learning some of who these guys are, more than just the passing of the names and knowing that they're pros, is when I watched that first major and they won that first round, but then they got smoked right after that when they had beat Florida, the one we watched together.
Yeah.
Every time there was something, oh, well, they could come back because they have Scump. Oh, but they could still win because they have Scump. Even you said going forward, it doesn't really matter who, they're always going to be competitive and they're going to be a threat because they have Scump. They ain't got Scump no more.
Yeah.
There's so if you're a weakness on that team, you're going to stick out.
Well, that's the thing. It's open for someone to take the reins as the number one through the whole league.
Yeah.
Like, it's always,
when's the last time
next
that's
to
been?
Scump? I mean, Scump and Crim 6 and Formal, now they're all three of those guys are gone, in my opinion. But I mean, you have Simp, you have a couple of other guys that have been up there and are incredibly good, but they weren't the household names. They weren't the ones drawing the attention. They weren't the ones that have been there.
There's room for that household name now.
There is room. And so your current roster on Optic, and the one that's going to be moving forward this weekend, I believe, is Dashy, Hook, Illy, and Shotzi. And from what Scump was talking about in the scrims that he saw, they were flying. Now, the other thing that this also said, I did say last episode, I was kind of like, man, I kind of, I brought Hook in as another SMG. The AR play is going to be a little interesting. Well, now with Dashy back, it's like, okay, that kind of, now they're a little more balanced. Not that Scump couldn't pick up an AR and be one of the best players out there, but it's just, he doesn't normally play that. It's not something that he enjoys playing. That's why him and Formal were such a banging combo the whole time, especially when Formal had the sniper in hand.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
It was unreal back then. Like, go rewatch some of the like Modern Warfare with Scump and Formal, with Formal on the sniper. Like, it was great to watch. It was fun to watch. That was also when you were allowed to use smoke grenades, so you had a lot of tactics that were able to be used and stuff like that. But again, different game. He ends everything with, thank you guys for the years of memories, good and the bad, and here's another chapter of my life. Green wall for life, brick by brick, family. So he's not leaving Optic. He's going to be doing content creation. I'm actually like super interested to see like what's Scump going to play tomorrow. Like, does he just take a break?
Warzone with hacks.
Warzone with hacks? Is that really what they're doing?
No,
like,
hacks.
That might be
Warzone with hacks. He's not a pro anymore. He can do it.
Well, my question is like, is he going to join like Mercs and Apex and just start climbing Apex ladders or something?
Tomorrow Scump gets first nuke after retirement.
Yeah, so
beats
I don't
Tim
know,
the Tatman and Doc in the end.
But it's going to be interesting here, and he honestly is not a huge fan of Warzone, so he's going to another game.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm very interested to see what game he goes to, because Formal went back to Halo.
Hey, maybe Microsoft backs up the truck like they did for Ninja for Mixer, and they're like, hey, why don't you be an exclusive Halo guy?
I have never seen Scump. That's the thing. I have never seen Scump play anything else.
So it'd be interesting to see how his skills his skills translate. You know.
Yeah, but he's also, he's up there in age, man. He's like me,
so
not
old,
like you.
27 years old. He's awful.
He's more like
even,
me, unlike you.
27. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you though, at 27, in a game that requires this much hand-eye and fast twitch coordination,
it's funny that
he's losing it a little bit.
Stop it. I don't want to hear this. The 27-year-old's losing his reflexes, but then when we're playing Warzone, you're yelling at me at 42, going, "Bro, he was right there. Why didn't you get over there quick enough?" You're sitting here giving the guy concessions. 15 years younger than me. It's the world champion.
Playing
and you expect
pros,
me,
not playing the dumb lobbies that we get.
We're like playing pros. They got wall hacks. They can beam me. I mean, what do you want from me?
I'm not even gonna get into the worst ever Call of Duty play that I've ever seen in my life. Thank you for that. That wasn't you.
It wasn't me. Thank God.
One of our other players.
I witnessed the tendencies of them last night though, while they left me hanging. I can't
even get into it. Anyway.
Well, speaking of Warzone, let's go on to our, I do want to say I wish Scump all the best. I know someone like him is probably never going to watch this, but anyone who is a fan of that, I do wish him his best. And I think you'll hear from Ender and I if he gets into something else. We'll probably update people on where he ended up and what he's playing, what he's doing. But
yes, sir. Getting
back to Warzone, Warzone Season 2 is getting ready to come out. With that is going to be Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Now, when they had the COD Next event, they had a whole hour long of just the mobile gameplay. What are your thoughts on Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, Ender? Anything? Does that interest you at all? I did read an article today that they did say controller support will be coming.
That's cool. I don't care. I'm not a mobile gamer. I've never been a fan of mobile games. Now, controller support is interesting, like putting it on my iPad and being able to play it like as I travel easier. Like that would be fun. I think really what you're talking about is Verdansk coming back to mobile and things there. I think I know what you're trying to hint at here.
Verdansk coming back, does that entice you to want to play mobile? And I'm going to get into what I'm asking here.
I'll download it and play it. Like just like I downloaded and played Fortnite, I downloaded and played that other one, the Fire one. What's the name of it? Like the top mobile game out there. I downloaded PUBG and played PUBG on mobile.
So you'll dabble just to try it.
Yeah, I'll dabble. Like if I'm bored enough, like I'll try anything at that point. I'm not a huge mobile gamer because most of the time if I'm like out somewhere on my phone, I'm watching YouTube videos or I'm reading articles or I've got an audio book in. Like I'm old.
Yeah.
Like mobile gaming wasn't a thing. Yeah. So I'm so used to
not having
other stuff with me to do that. It's just like my kids are all over mobile games. Like they're just, I mean, again, they're 4 and 6, but like they'll sit there and play mobile games all day long. Right now it's the Minion Rush game and collecting bananas on who's going to get the most bananas. Again, another game that you could download and play. Like I played Candy Crush for like 6 levels and was like, I don't understand the fascination. Like I don't get this.
Everyone that's
all of these tower
defense
like games I don't get. But I
They're...
could see like hooking up the controller to like my iPad when I'm traveling and playing a little Call of Duty. Sure. And I also like maybe there aren't any hackers. Maybe we don't have any skill-based matchmaking. Yeah. Maybe I play better there. You know, like if I start popping off in mobile, like fuck it, I'm mobile gaming now. Let's go.
Now
like we got to take a look at how we play first.
Now listen,
and having Verdansk back is nice. I think there's nostalgia there. It'll be fun to play that. But my question is, and I don't know if you know, what engine are they running? Are they running a new mobile engine?
I don't know enough about it to rattle off the engine here for you. But their current Call of Duty Mobile does have a Battle Royale mode. It's filled with a lot of bots, and it's third-person play. And I believe it's like, at least when it launched, it was very much like the Blackout map, the original BR for Call of Duty. And then I think it's evolved over. It's got some tons of, obviously, weird cosmetics and all kinds of things you can have on there. But I believe that is strictly in third-person. I could be wrong. But obviously, this Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is going to be first person. Also, it will be synced with the actual game, Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone for that we're playing, PC consoles.
So
the season pass works on all of them.
Yeah, so that's cool. And the other thing is I hope it comes out and freaking rocks. The reason why I hope that is light a fire under these other developers' ass is like you're getting your ass kicked by your own mobile game.
Yeah. Now
like that would feel bad if we're getting our but like all of a sudden you turn on YouTube and Twitch and all of a sudden you see like Doc and mobile. Tim rolling on mobile because it's a better game. Like, hey, it could happen here because we're not the best place with Warzone 2. I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit more, but people are getting a little trolly for you though, aren't they, James?
Yes, very trolly.
Mobile?
I want to talk about that a little bit. One thing, I know you tease me from time to time about my clickbaity
you are
thumbnails.
clickbait
I'm
king.
not
Sometimes,
that bad, but
sometimes I have to. I reel it in. I reel it in sometimes. Last week I had to reel it in.
I dip my toe in the water a little bit occasionally, but it's been really interesting to watch and frustrating because I woke up a couple mornings ago when it leaked about this season 2 being delayed, which we're going to talk about next. But everyone started saying the reason it's being delayed was because Verdansk was coming back. And everyone just kept hyping these videos. Verdansk is coming back. Verdansk is coming back. Are you excited Verdansk is coming back? Now, listen, I'm not talking about some of the top people that we watch, the J-Gods, the Icemans, Doc, Tim.
People trying to make a name.
Guys. But people are really trolling, and they really had a solid group of people believe that Verdansk was coming back to Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. And anyone watching this, I just want to make this very clear. It is not. There is no additional map coming on a big map level. And it's not going to be, Caldera's not coming here. It's staying on its own game. Verdansk is not coming to Warzone 2.0 as of right now. I'm not going to say that it's impossible. It never will, but it is not. It is only launching for mobile. That's the only map that the Call of Duty Warzone mobile is going to be played on. That's the whole point of it. And obviously, just like you alluded to earlier, that's the nostalgia to want to get people to play the Warzone mobile. Even if they were going to bring Verdansk back, they would be stupid to bring it back at the same time as they launch their mobile game. The whole point of putting it on there is to bring the people over that would never think about playing mobile just because they want to play that map. So with that being said, How do you feel about these people getting trolled? Do you think it's shameless? Do you think...
I mean,
it's annoying?
Look, it's annoying. And people are always going to try to make a name for themselves. And, we sit here each day and talk about like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What are people going to be listening to? What are we going to do this? And we could go troll. Like there's no, we could sit here and every single time we come in and be like, look at this new Nadia clip. Look at this new hacker clip. Look at this new, and
it's not fun.
And start getting the views. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's not the way that I want the community to be, or the light that I want to put and shine on the community is to give people like false information about what's going on. So to sit there and troll to get clicks and all well knowing that it's not coming back, it's not worth my time to even focus on you or even give you the spotlight of who you are. Like, we're not going to tell you who these people are because it's not worth giving them the spotlight. What we want to do is bring you real news and say, look, this isn't happening. These developers are not talking about this. These guys with those videos out there, guys or gals with the videos out there saying that it's happening, are just trying to get you to watch their video. And it's probably not good content anyway. It's recycled content that they had back when they were playing with their, Modern Warfare Warzone 1 hacks on. So I'm not for it, but you can't stop it.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna stop it for sure. Just don't.
But again, we could do that if we wanted to. Anyone can do that if they want to. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to say, let's stir the pot here. But for me, I agree with you. I think bringing back Verdansk as the map is going to get people that wouldn't normally go into it to go into it, like me. Now, I probably won't do it until controller support's there.
Yeah, I might as well play blindfolded with my toes.
There's just no way I'm gonna do that. But with controller support, sure, why not?
Yeah, I've got one of those backbones that straps to your phone and kind of makes it feel like
I'm just thinking like set it up on my iPad Pro with a controller right in front of me, 12.5-inch screen. Like that's more than enough to play while I'm traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, speaking of season 2, it is official. The leaks were true. Season 2, they announced today on January 18th that it will be launching on February 15th. Now, I'll let you get into a little bit of this, the content and everything they posted, but the one thing that makes me laugh the most, Ender, all these people, this game wasn't ready. Should have delayed the game. This game wasn't ready. It's got all these bugs. Then they're like, they shouldn't be releasing more stuff until they're ready to fix everything. So now they're like, we're going to delay it because we're listening to the community and we're going to fix things. And everyone's like, are you kidding me? So now we get no more content until are you like, make up your mind. Do you want them to fix the game or not?
Well,
like,
so
who cares that it's delayed 2 weeks?
The thing is you got to look at the 2-week delay. Honestly, makes sense to me, like that they're going to move it back 2 weeks from software development point of view. A 2-week delay is a single sprint. So the way you run things is they're called sprints. It's agile development. I'm sure that's what they're using in order to do this. And that literally is your normal single sprint of work that you're going to do. So they're one set of workflow behind.
So explain this.
That happens.
Break it down for someone that doesn't know anything that you just said. What do you mean by it's a sprint?
So when you plan out the amount of work that you need to do in order to launch a piece of software, you normally plan them out in 2-week cycles. So I will say I need to do this, this, and this, and this. It's going to take me 2 weeks to do that. Okay. Your team goes out and they work on that for those times. By it being exactly 2 weeks, it tells me that they're probably one of those cycles behind in developing because a bug popped up. Something happened. They had to do some research because something unexpected happened and it's not ready. And I need to delay 2 weeks to give my developer time to finish whatever it is that they were working on in that cycle that got held up. Maybe they got COVID and they weren't allowed to come into work, like stupid stuff like that happens when you're working on these, smaller development teams, because it's not a huge team that does all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's on vacation, somebody, somebody's mom died or something like that they had to go do, can put you 2 weeks behind on a project super easy when you break them down how you normally would. So let's say you had, 4 or 5 different things you wanted to get done. You would break all the tasks that it would take down to do that in to 2-week chunks. Okay. And you would hand those out. So if it takes me a month, that's 2-week chunks. Then that's 1 month worth of work. Yeah. So now I know how to do that. And it's just a way of planning and making it easier to plan for these large scale projects that are going to be multi months. You just break them down to the smallest parts, which is about 2 weeks. So a 2-week delay just tells me they were behind. They should push it if they're behind. They shouldn't launch something that's untested. Most likely they're in the testing phase right now. And they need to actually do some testing, or something broke in the testing phase and they need time to fix said thing. Now, that's another reason that you could be 2 weeks behind is that, my testing didn't go well. Here's my fix, and it's going to take me an extra 2 weeks in order to fix it. As I was listening to you describe kind of how everything works, all that popped in my head, and this was a big topic kind of before you and I became this, the Last Horse Network and Two Dudes the Game and everything we've been doing. Crunch was a big topic in the gaming industry, and it sounds like everything you just described before crunch was very public knowledge and was like a hex, like could ruin your company if you got called out for doing that to your employees. It seems like 2 years ago they would have just done crunch time and still been able to hit their deadline. But now, so certain companies will still have that. I mean, like look at Twitter when Elon went out there and said, but I mean, specifically the gaming industry really got hit by the public opinion on that. There's no reason to do that to your developers, to your devs, to burn them out. We don't have a lot of them anyway. This is a skill set that is not like abundantly available for the top level people that are amazing. It's hard to find them, and it's not like they're getting praised on the internet every day about their job. No, like these guys are grinding their ass off, and again, a lot of these decisions are top down. It may not be the way they want to do it, but they have to code this way. They have to write it this way. There's only a couple of companies out there, I'm not going to say any names, that I've worked for over the course of the years that really are bottom up and listen to the devs and on like, what would you guys do? What is the community talking about? There's a few of them out there that have done that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm not surprised that they move it. I'm happy that they move it. I'd rather you take an extra 2 weeks and get it right than push something that is not ready and then we have to hot patch it every day.
We're waiting 2 weeks for them to fix the bug anyways. So what's the difference?
Yeah, but we're waiting for it in the hot patch nature, which is really not a good way to do software development. Like, you don't want to be patching in production while your game is running. Like, you don't want that. It's really bad to be fixing something that's in production. That's not good.
All right, so we know it's being delayed, but let's talk a little bit. If you want to read that, I know you snapped a picture of what's actually confirmed to be coming with this season 2 update.
So season 2 will be launching on February 5th. Our studio teams
15th.
have been making 15th. I'm sorry, yeah. Our studio changes based on what we have heard from our player community. That's completely bullshit, but anyway, let's move on.
It's good PR.
Yeah. Season 2 includes all new content with the return of Resurgence and a brand new small map for Warzone 2. Period. Space.
Stop it with their
Ranks
here.
play is also back and coming to Modern Warfare 2. Not Warzone, James. Not Warzone.
Missed
along
opportunity.
with new multiplayer maps, new modes, weapons, and much more. Stay tuned for additional. And then the actual tweet above it from Infinity Ward says this includes exciting changes to Warzone 2, including gulag, looting, and loadouts more soon. And it seems like next week, so coming up soon here, we are going to get the deep dive studio blog, which if you're around, I don't know if you're traveling or not, we'll dive into all of those changes. If not, I'll do a post on the changes that are in that blog. But yeah, so one big thing there, the gulag, man. See, they're making changes to the gulag. Is it a new gulag and we're still duos? Or are we going solos?
Usually every season they did a new map gulag, right? I pray that they change that. But do you one of the things let's talk about the things confirmed. The first thing
I've been thinking about this
ahead.
gulag. Hold on. I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the gulag. I want to say this. What if, and this is really hard on the back end to do, but let's say the new gulag system is you are solo if it can't pair you with a teammate, but your duos if both of your teammates are in at the same time and there's another group of teammates available.
I think it's a lot of, I don't know how coding works.
No,
that
it's
would
a
be
lot
fine.
of what if statements and logic that you have to put into.
If
but I'm
it
just
was
saying,
easy to do and I could just pick, snap my fingers, and that's how it was.
Ark, Zooch, and Trex are gonna hate me on this right now, but it's code. We can do anything we want to do. It just time, people, and money. Like at the end of the day, it's always time, people, and money, and balancing that triangle of what you're gonna do. But we've always been talking about like what we would want to see, and we'll kind of get into it. But I'm just saying,
that
like,
would be fine.
Would that be a cool gulag system? Of
Yeah,
like,
that wouldn't bother me.
Because everyone's like, if we're playing solos, you're always solo because you don't have a teammate. But if I'm in duos, trios, or quads, and I have a teammate that's died with me, I get a duos with my teammate in there. Or if I'm alone, I get a solo and I get the match quick. Not this like wait 2 minutes in there and come back alive without fighting. Like that's annoying. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
The other thing I hope they change in it is
sidetrack that.
No, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. That would be a fine, acceptable gulag to me because you're not always going to get 2v2. You're more times than not going to get 1v1.
Yeah, but it would make sense. Like if you have a good fight and you're in quads, and you kill two, they kill two, and you both go in, and now you're fighting each other in the gulag. That's kind of cool.
I mean, they got some sort of matchmaking system in there because I'm not joking. I have scoured the internet and I wait every time that I go in the gulag for my teammate to be on the other team, and it's never happened. And I've never heard anyone talk about it happening.
That's why I think they have the logic there for when you die together for your teammate to be on your team. So my question there is, it probably isn't that difficult for them just to say everything that isn't is solo, and everything that is if you could do this. So again, that's why I don't think it's that hard because I have never had my teammate on the other side. I don't think you can.
I mean, I feel like coding's probably not that hard based on some of the ones I've met, so sorry. I can't
It's
code.
not.
I'm sure it's very
I
difficult.
I don't write code. I manage guys that do.
I'm sure.
Okay, I'm not
I
talking
don't know
about
anything
that.
about game development or coding, so I'm sure it's very difficult. But the other thing's confirmed. The Rebirth is coming back and a new small map, which you assume is, you know,
So the
replacing
Resurgence is coming back, and they're making a new map rather than recycling it, or we're getting two
a
maps.
new small map. I think the other small map stays with Caldera if it's.
Okay.
But it might not even be playable on Caldera, and I don't 100% know, but I think it's a new map. Are you excited about a newer, smaller map coming? You and I never really played Rebirth very much.
So I liked Rebirth Island. Trex and I played it a lot when it was duos. My problem with Rebirth Island is it always, and maybe I'm not remembering this properly, but didn't it always just have like one like grouping you could do? Like it was either duos this week or trios or quads.
A lot
like
of times, yeah.
You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, a lot of times.
And that's why like I like having the choice of what I'm dropping in as. And it also didn't have skill-based matchmaking, which means you could go in there and wreck. It was a fun, but in all honesty, I like the mini royale on the big map. Like I'm a fan of the trio
it's
mini
still
royales
battle royale.
because it's still battle royale. It's still fast. So it would be cool with just like a constant rotation of a mini royale and rotating at that point more than a smaller map. I'd rather you focus your time on a second big map and not on a whole new game mode with a smaller map. That's just my opinion. Or take the two small maps, put them together, and make a big map.
Yeah, the Rebirth resurgence modes and stuff like that on the small map, it's just like a larger multiplayer game.
It's great
go
for
down there,
content.
kill a bunch of people, die. Kill a bunch of people, die. Kill a bunch of people. Oh, I can't come back. Did everyone else on my team die?
No,
okay,
see, that's why
we're done.
Trex and I played all the time because she was phenomenal at staying alive.
Yeah.
And I was good at killing people and dying. So I kept coming back in to kill people. She stayed alive and we won a lot of games. But it also had no skill base. So 1 second you're getting wrecked, the next second you're having God mode.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
okay
no,
with
and
that.
then people freaking out. Yeah, I'm so much better. This is not a skill based game at all.
No. But again, it kind of
Which
goes
is
back
why I
to
think
the
it's
statement
funny.
and why I said it very clearly. Ranked mode is not a Warzone when we just want a Warzone ranked mode and not have skill-based matchmaking in pubs and have a ranked Warzone. If you can rank us in multiplayer, you can rank us in Warzone, guys. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why one is going to have a ranked mode and the other one is not.
Ranked
I would
play?
love to actually have somebody to talk to about it.
Yeah, that'd be great. What about ranked play for multiplayer? Does that entice you to go back?
Yes, but I'm not going to find a group of people to play. And also, I only want to play ranked play if it's 4v4.
Under CDL rules?
No,
or just
I think
4v4
regular
in
wills,
general?
4v4. It's too chaotic. Spawns are too chaotic with 6v6 to even make rank mode show the skill that you have. It needs to be 4v4. If it's 4v4 with just regular rules, that's fine. I don't care about that. Just make it 4v4. You got to get rid of this 6v6 stuff in multiplayer. It's not how the game was supposed to be played.
Now, my favorite line in this entire picture is, our studio teams have been making several changes based on what we have heard from our player community.
I mean, I did point out that I think that's bullshit right off the bat. And so I guess I believe they are listening to the community, but I also believe it's hard to listen to the Call of Duty community.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Because
for sure. Yeah,
like you said, because it's like, you guys need to delay this game. It wasn't ready. All right, guys, we're delaying for 2 weeks. What the fuck? You're delaying for 2 weeks? How in the world could you do this? I haven't had I've had the same content for 1 month, guys. 1 month. Season 2's not out. It's been 1 month. And I'm like, motherfuckers, this is why they can't listen to the community, because it doesn't matter. It is literally, you are the umpire in a baseball game. Regardless of what you say, half the world is going to love you, half the world is going to hate you. And they're always in that situation. So they have to make a decision on what do we think is the best for the core game and our core players? No, they're not.
Yeah.
What is going to make people come to the game and continue to buy skins and get us more player base?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to fix, and that's what they're going to do. Get over the fact that They don't care about you. They don't care about the guy that doesn't work, that sits at home, that plays, 12 hours a day, all day long, and lives in his mom's basement.
Yeah.
That is not the guy that they're catering towards anymore. They're catering towards the casual player that's only playing 2 or 3 times a week when, his kids are in bed and his wife fell asleep on the couch and he can go ahead and play the game. Like, that's who they really want to bring into this. So we got to calm down as a community if we really want them to listen to us, because we're too split ourselves. The gulag is a great example. Half the people love this stupid ass gulag and the other half don't. But there's some other things we're going to talk about on changes that we've heard that they're going to change.
Yeah. Now here, let me,
as
we move on to our final topic here, the last thing I wanted to say is I would love to be the PR person, because every time but say the changes that come out for their season 2, and then all the community's like, no one asked for that. I would go and find the one random tweet from this random person that has hardly any followers that said, I would really like if you guys did this, and then retweet it and be like, see, we listen to the community.
No, yeah, I mean, it's one of those
one
things where
person
it's
asked
just,
for it.
It's like listening to the community. Okay, like, sure, of course, everybody listens to the community. Whether or not you do it the right way, that's a whole nother story.
All right, so final topic of the evening for us here. Things that we want to be in this update. Ender, I'll let you go first. We'll go back and forth one each here.
I don't know if I can prove it. I don't know if I can actually see the difference. I want them to fix whatever the hell is wrong with the plating system right now, because still to this day, I do not understand why sometimes with 2 plates, I'm a god. Sometimes with 3 plates, I'm 2 tapped. I don't understand. Something's going on with the logic on how the plating system is working. And again, I don't care if you change the whole, I got to find a 3 plate. I got to do all that. Like, I know that was something in the beginning we were talking about. They drop enough to where I'm comfortable with how the system is working right now. But I'm telling you, sometimes when you pick up that 3 plate, I don't think the game registers that you have it on.
Yeah,
like, I really don't. And I'm hoping there's some changes to it. And maybe you don't need to change that. Maybe it's just make give me iron trials back or something. Like, maybe move the health up of the plating system, give you a little bit more, lower the TTKs a little bit. I don't know, but something's wrong with the plate system, and I'm gonna leave it.
Well, when it comes to the 2 and picking up the 3 plate, it's just kind of like, why? Like, to me, there's no benefit to having to go find a 3 plate. It just seems pointless. It's already hard enough coming back from the gulag, or when your whole team gets wiped out and you come from the gulag, or come from the gulag late. Not only are you trying to find money, you're trying to find a gun. Now also got to try to find a 3 plate. Like, it just it just seems pointless. And if eliminating that extra thing changes makes the plates work better, then I'm happy. I
don't know, but I think the way the plate system works right now, something's broken. I've seen it, you've seen it, we've seen some of the top streamers talk about it. We've seen some of the guys.
I mean, I've benefited from it as well as been killed.
I'm not saying I haven't benefited from it. I've benefited from it last night. I had a guy that was lighting me up. I turned around and 2-tapped him, and I'm like, sorry. Like, I should have died there, but I didn't. And again, I know there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of ping and lag and all the different stuff that happens there. But it does feel like, to me, that system is broken some way. And then also, I think you kind of proved that with the sniper glitch that they had, where people were dropping instant deaths with sniper glitches. That's something going on with the plate system. Like, that proves there's something in there that is broken.
I'll give you my first one. I'm sure you already know what it's going to be. I'm going to give you a couple different, I want to cover my bases here, but I want them to fix the stupid sniper and put it back to 1-shot kills. And when I mean 1-shot kills, if you have teammates alive, I should just 1-shot. If I headshot you, I should be able to drop you. If you're solo and you don't have a self-revive, then I should be able to kill you. Now, with that being said, I don't want to hear people saying, oh, then everyone's just going to camp on top of a building. No, you know why everyone camps out openly on top of the building? Is because if you have a 3-plate, you cannot kill them. Unless you quickly 2-tap them because you're a higher building and they're dumb enough not to retreat, or you quickly 2-tap them with like the EBR or something you got to scope on, and you're able to drop a precision or something on there really quickly. Like, so people aren't going to. Like, if I have 3 plates and I'm on top building, I'm all willy-nilly running around the top because I know that no one can drop me.
So the streamer It's Irons, if you watch him play, he uses that strategy to perfection right now. And even said it on stream of like, I'm not concerned about dying. I have a 3-plate on, and the only way someone can kill me up here is if they 2-tap me super fast, which with bolt actions and stuff like that is super hard.
It's hard.
And then they drop a precision on me before I revive. That's really hard to do in the amount of time that it would take for someone to revive or move into the building or get to some form of cover or replate up. Like, I mean, we've had battles with guys on top of it, and it's just like, okay, we just have to leave this. And that's not necessarily superior positioning. That might just be, I got my sniper, I ran to the top, and I'm just going to sit here for as long as I can. It's not like these guys are rotating into the circle and they have the better position and I lose. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about I rotated in the circle and I was able to get the head glitch before you were able to do it. Like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about here guys that are standing up on the ledges, not caring, and then also they gotta fix and I'll just go into my next one. They gotta add more flinch to some of these weapons with the way they're doing it, because again, you could hit somebody, and I didn't even think about this until you talk about sniper play, but you could hit somebody with a sniper, but they can just continue to beam you with their and not even move off of you. Again, I don't know if it's people that are using some kind of hack, if they got Cronus to do it. I think we dropped and came back. There we go.
Yeah, you said you don't know if they have hacks or Cronus. Yeah,
I don't know if they're using Cronuses or things like that. But no, my connection dropped. But getting beamed while you hit somebody with a sniper from far away, it doesn't even stop them from shooting, or all of a sudden they're hitting you and then they're not. It's kind of insane. And it happened to me last night, where I was hitting a guy, I plated him, and I was like, holy shit, like he didn't move off of me at all. Like nothing affected his beam on even any of the other players. So I'm not saying make it go crazy to where every time you get tapped with a bullet, but maybe weaken some of the attachments that they have with flinch resistance, or something there, make it a little bit more.
And I don't care if they take the marksman rifles and make those 2-tap. If the official sniper rifles were 1-tap, to me, do I need every marksman and sniper rifle to 1-tap? No, but to have the option.
I'm sorry, if I load up a 50 cal and I put it right through the middle of your skull, you should go down.
Well, my 3 plates that I put on my chest are going to protect me.
Yeah, I just like even make the hitbox smaller for the headshot, and if you hit that smaller hitbox, it downs them. Like, I don't even care, but give me some way of a comeback or a turnaround or something where I could make a gameplay and bring that gameplay back a little bit more, other than, can I get this sniper down to the fastest reload speed and aim down sight? Because I'm basically just quick scoping at that point. And I didn't win every sniper battle I don't run with a sniper. I don't care.
I didn't win every sniper battle I was in, but it was fun to have.
No, I think you could do it. Like now, with people. Now it's kind of like you got to run 2 snipers and call your shot, and you both pull the trigger at the same time and hope you both hit. That's kind of fun, but again, it doesn't really. And we were kind of doing it last night with you breaking plates and then me trying to tap them with an RPK from across the map. Like, there's ways you can do it, but when you're on top of a building, and there's a lot of tall buildings in this that have heavy lips on them, there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, and they're just standing out in the open. You can't even.
It's super frustrating. Anyway, it's your turn.
The next thing I would love to change is the inventory system. I find it ridiculous that I can carry 20 plates, or that someone can carry 5 self revives, or that someone can, a team of 2 can carry 10 precision airstrikes and are just flooding the map, and you can never precision them back, or like, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I am clearly taking advantage of the 3-gun system by having a backpack, but I don't.
Are you really taking advantage of it? Or
I'm
you just
trying to
carry it?
take. I carry it, but it just, I don't know. It feels like another thing that was added to the game that I understand it correlates with DMZ, which totally makes sense. But with Warzone, I don't know if it's really something that needed to be added in there. That like
I like it, so I'm completely opposite with you on that. I like the system. I like that I can carry the plates that I find, because I hated the fact that I have all these plates on the ground, but when I need them, I can't bring them with me. I had this backpack animation on my back anyway. I maybe limit the amount of kill streaks, and
you can only equip them in your actual equip spots. You can't
carry.
But
I like carrying them. I like being able to.
I like being able to
somebody.
carry a couple because I do like the fact that I can pick up stuff and bring it to you. I will say
you can
that.
have 3. Like, let's say you can only have 3 kill streaks at one time. Like, you can't load up every spot with a kill streak or 2 of once. But again, I don't really care. Like, if I find it and I can bring it with me, I should be able to bring it with me and be able to use it. Like, I'm okay with that. If I want to have 45 plates on me, then I'm going to bring 45 plates.
Yeah, get rid of it. No, I'm out.
No,
I'm on the other side.
I mean,
it's okay. You can be wrong. It's your turn.
It doesn't bother me because it doesn't affect. I don't think it really breaks any gameplay. Like my thing is, like, I don't want things to break gameplay, but if I find it and I can bring it with me and I can fill the backpack and I found the backpack, okay, like, deal with it.
All right, what else you got? I still got a couple more if you have some.
I mean, I've said everything that I want. Like, just, I don't really have anything specific.
What about new contracts?
I would like to see some new contracts. I'd actually like just contracts to go away in general, and just don't have them, or make them more interesting, or just have safe crackers and get rid of everything else.
I mean, the bounty is fine to me. The most wanted is fine for me.
Yeah,
those are staples. The Intel one, it takes too long. Like, seems stupid.
Like, the Intel one, I think you could really use to your advantage if you wanted to know where the circle was going to go. But right now, the circles are so predictable anyway. It's not like I really need the Intel. I don't know. Like, they're okay. I think we're getting like ticky tacky there. Like,
yeah.
There's fundamentals to the game that I want you to change before you do anything else. So one of the things that I would say that really annoys me, again, is the gulag. Like I'm gonna have to go right back to that. It's like, I don't. We mentioned it earlier in the podcast. Like, if there's obviously some code there to get you with your teammate, you're not going to be fighting against your teammate. And I'm going to go at this a different way. If you have a gulag system, I should have to the amount of times that I get out of the gulag without actually having a fight floors me. It's just shocking, because we don't have enough players to do this duo thing. So rather than just put you in there one-on-one, we're just gonna have you come back in for free.
3 of you running around the top too. That's what's funny.
Yeah, we're just gonna run around each other, and we could have 2 of you fighting, and then it was really like an awesome thing in the first one of like, I didn't have to fight my gulag. Like, thank God, like I didn't have to go in there. But here, it's 2 or 3 times a night.
Yeah, easily.
If not more.
Especially if you make it to the second or third circle.
Yeah, and I think that's just dumb. At that point, so the gulag needs to change, and not the map. I like the map.
Yeah, the map is great. I do think that they nailed it.
I like the stuff on the ground too. Like, you're able to pick up a plate system and things like that. But here is my gulag pet peeve. It just made me think of it.
The jailer.
There should be no fucking time limit in the gulag if you have the jailer that's supposed to be wiping everybody out. the fact that
Or put a flag.
no, like, yeah, well, the flag system was fine. I never thought that there was a problem with the flag system because it forced you to do things. I'm fine with the jailer coming in. Just don't have this fucking time limit where you both lose. Like he's gonna kill one of you at some point. It's a fucking juggernaut. Like, I just the time limit annoys me, and I'm done with that. The gulag as a whole, just go back to the old system. Keep the map, but go back to the old system.
I mean, they could literally recycle the first like 7 gulags from last game and do one-on-one, and everyone would be happy.
I don't fucking care. Just stick me in a room with one wall in front of it, and I don't really give a shit. Just go back to how it was before. Me versus you, and I can come back. Like, you broke the fundamental of your game.
Well, that's all I had really in there. Like you said, everything else is just kind of we start getting into the ticky-tackness.
I don't like the loadouts where the way they drop. I wish they were sporadic around the map again. I don't like that they drop in that perfect line.
Perfect line is kind of,
because if you're not over that perfect line, it's you're screwed. And then if you are, everyone's there so fast. Like, I liked how it dropped it in the cluster. So the cluster that you were around that you could do. So this whole straight line good luck. And I understand that it makes more sense. A plane flies in, but really, like, we can't suspend reality in this world anymore. We have a visible wall of gas that's coming to get us.
Yeah, we can also pull our parachute 300 times a game.
The other thing I would like is them to slow down the first circle gas, because you slowed down the movement speed that you have. So sometimes you can't outrun it. Like, I should be able to draw. And here's what I'm asking for. I should be able to run without any weapons in my hand faster than it on the first circle. If I had a weapon in my hand, it should catch me if I'm running straight. Yeah. But the fact that I can't even come close to outrunning it just annoys me. Every other game you can outrun it in. Every other game. Or it doesn't hurt you so bad that you die instantly.
Yeah, PUBG's first circle, you can be in the blue for like an hour, but
yeah, in Fortnite you can outrun it and you could be in it for a while too. So I just think that is, it cuts people off way too fast. But I also know this game has a problem with people being around too long. Yeah, you get into these final circles with like 35 people left and you're playing solos and you're just like, what the fuck has happened here?
Well, I don't mind that the gas wipes me out really quickly as long as I can outrun it, like you said.
Yeah, and I say I have to drop my weapon and run. Like, there needs to be a consequence for me being in bad position. But I think if I could run in a straight line, I should be able to outrun this. It shouldn't be able to, and I think even into the second circle, you can't outrun it. Like, we've been caught in that a couple times. I think the other thing that I don't like is I want them to change if you're carrying a gas mask, don't have both of them deplete at the same time. Like, I hate that. Yeah. And the other thing that I hate with the looting system in there is if I use an airstrike, auto-populate the fucking airstrike that's in my bag. Like, don't make me open it up and equip it. And the other thing, don't have 15 different buttons to stow something. Like, it should be one button always. The stow button sometimes is the D-pad, sometimes it's X. Like, no, just it's one or the other. Like I hate the fact that it has different. Like, sorry, you're now I'm getting petty.
I reeled it in. So yeah. I think that's it for this week, really. I mean, we're probably going to try to play here in a little bit. I do want to challenge you in the next week is that we do this. We talked about doing a solo tournament style 1v1, me versus you, and co-streaming it. I would like to bring that back into the fold as we start to kind of push two dudes the game as our main.
We gotta have a time where we both have a significant amount of time to do it.
And also, I think you're going to see some spectating duos videos within the next.
We can't spectate duos. Like, we'd have to. We will both spectate a solo. Because we wouldn't get the same person to watch.
No, we should. As long as we're on the same team.
No. Because I'll die, you die. We both will spectate somebody different.
No. You spectate the last team that killed your last teammate. I'll show you.
Not if we die instantly on the drop. Trex and I tried it. It didn't work.
Well, then we just won't spectate that game.
I'm just saying we can spectate. Whatever. I don't care. Figure it out. whatever you want to do. Like I brought that up, and I got no problem doing it. I think we need to get a couple more people in the tournament style. We could do one that's just me versus you. And
Yeah,
then we could
we'll
do
get
something else that has bigger.
Zooch and those guys,
So
because I know they won't
they
get a
have
lot of
time.
kills, so we'll be fine.
Stack it in our favor. Yeah, that's nice.
That's
Thank
not
you,
my fault.
everybody. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to do this, and I gotta try to do this. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, do all that kind of stuff. I need to start doing that like in the middle of our podcast
Yeah.
and trying to remind people, because from our analytics, over 87% of the people that watch their show are not subscribed and do not know when the next episode's coming out. So please hit the like button, hit the little bell icon, comment, let us know what you want to see. We are focusing pretty heavily on the Two Dudes That Game right now. We got some social media stuff opening up. I don't know which one we're going to end up really focusing on. We have YouTube where most of this is at, and then there's going to be a Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. I think I've been more on Twitter. James has been more on the Facebook side because he's old and likes the old people stuff. But anyway, please subscribe, watch that. We also do this as a audio download. I want you guys to remember, like, out there, you can get this on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. You don't have to do it through YouTube. Again, I don't really care where you do it, but just to let you know, if you want to get the downloads and always know when something new comes out, we put those things up there as well. And again, let us know what you want to see. If you want us to start doing some smaller videos here on specific topics, if you want to see more longer content that we have, we really want to hear from the community that's listening. We're starting to get a decent amount of people. Not like we're big wigs or anything like that, but we're starting to get a little bit of a community around us, and we want to bring you the content that you want to see. Or you're just gonna get what we want to blab about, which sometimes is not that interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. We're out.